Hi there, beautiful beings.
I've just completed the online foundation with Christel Crawford.
I'm one of the participants from the last week's online foundation class with Christel.
Foundation online by Christel Crawford.
I did a foundation with Christel Crawford.
And it was amazing, phenomenal. I have no words actually to describe it.
And I must say I loved it. I really loved it.
And it was really off the charge.
Each time there's always a huge space where you don't know how to function anymore, because nothing is going to be the same as it was before the foundation.
Then the change, for me it was like, holy mackerel. So much more me. So much more vulnerability and allowance with me, and yeah, just more space, more being, and yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that I chose this foundation online.
I love foundation classes. I've done many of them, all of them before this, either live or in a group of people. And I did have some points of view and some thoughts about how it was going to go online with me being on my own here, doing it online, and how it would work, what wouldn't work.
The only thing which I was missing is the body processes, which I was lucky I had somebody at home with me who could do it with me, but it's a completely different area when you do it live.
The body processes, the bars, running those on myself was a different experience, and it was actually a really enjoyable experience, and it was a journey for me in the contribution that I could make to my body and a greater communion with my body and with me in essence.
It was normally in class I'm really distracted like a good humanoid does, and pick up other energies and questions from other participants. And now it was like there was so much space because we were online together.
I loved seeing all the other participants on Zoom too. All were present, all were there. And what was so awesome is I stayed in my home, I stayed in my circumstances, I stayed with me, and therefore I had the feeling that I could receive a lot more than when I would drive to a foundation and stay there and be all in that foundation energy. So a lot more came up for me and a lot more changed.
The thoughts I had about an online foundation were actually all blown out of the water. So I'm getting the learning from that is just stop thinking and do it.
Like there was so much space because we were online together, and it was so much space, but it was so much communion as well. I haven't experienced in another foundation yet.
The energy has no boundaries. I've heard many people say that, but to actually see that and experience it myself, perceiving the energy from the class, perceiving the energy from Christel, from the other participants, seeing that change happening when we weren't present with each other, physically present in the room. We don't have to be in the same room together, whether we are or whether we're on different sides of the world. That energy is still as potent, it's still there, and it still creates the change if we're willing to have that.
I just want to thank everyone, especially Christel, for your amazing facilitation.
Years ago I thought facilitating is all about being serious, because it's about change and you have to do you get into the stuff. And there are some other facilitators who did it as well, but she's like the lightness, the playfulness, to mess a little bit with you and fuck around. And I really, really, really loved it. So
with her is so potent each time, so different. She looks into the energy, she sees through. She knows what to ask. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's wonderful. I strongly recommend, if you haven't decided or taken a foundation class yet.
yeah, if you want some change, if you want some playfulness, if you want to have communion with you and the participants with no barriers and no judgment, I don't do it. It's awful. No, it's really, yeah, it amazed me actually. It was really, really, really nice to do this class together, separately together, in a weird way, something like that. So if it feels like light for you, you can choose it and you know where to go.
This experience is one that I'm really, really grateful to have been a part of. And if you haven't yet chosen to do one of the online foundations, my advice would be do it.